The idea of our brain being a radio receiver is not new. Research shows that the brain can also amplify radio waves. The phenomenon that you are going to hear about is a repeatable phenomenon described by many practitioners. It is not just me postulating a lucid dreams radio theory or astral projection radio theory. The radio theory of lucid dreaming is a fascinating idea. What if, every single night, you and I are tuning in our brains into other realms? Please be patient to listen to the whole story. It contains the techniques, procedure to use galantamine, and the experience description. If you are patient enough, you will learn a great deal of valuable information that will allow you to progress on your journey. So let's get on, shall we? I am not a massive advocate of the use of nootropics for lucid dreaming. But on the day of this experience, I used the magic combination of galantamine plus choline. This combination increases the number of neurotransmitters in the brain drastically, consequently, the chances to become lucid increase. The supplements: GABA, 5-HTP, galantamine and choline. I have taken GABA 500 mg packed with 2 mg of VP6 at 23HO to relax and sleep drowsier. I am a light sleeper. The drowsiness came as expected. I have also taken 5-HTP at around midnight. By this time, my wife and my kids were still awakened and playing around me. Therefore I decided to put on headphones and play some music to relax. Missing out the sleeping window stressed me a little. The next wave of sleepiness came by 1 AM, and I took it. I woke up naturally at 4 AM. I had to get up at 9 AM, which gave me plenty of time to practice. I went back to sleep again. I woke up naturally after 30 minutes of sleep, and I had a dream regardless of 5-HTP. Or maybe the REM rebound has already begun? Since the dream machine has begun, I decided to proceed to the second part of the nootropics supplements. 1. Galantamine 8 mg. 2. Vitamina B5 100 mg. 3. Choline 700 mg. I usually do not use the wild, direct approach too often. I am a light sleeper. If I break my sleep for too long, I might not fall asleep quickly. My son asked me for milk. I went quickly to get some and promptly returned to bed. I forgot to switch off the alarm clock that I scheduled for 5 AM. Watching my phone in the complete darkness left me with an afterimage. I noticed that the afterimage overlays the well-established hypnagogia. Noticing the quite developed hypnagogia encouraged me to the practice. I ignored everything else and focused on the task at hand equals falling asleep. The imagery went more substantial and more elaborate. The insights of the Lucid Dreams Radio. Since May 2015, I have moved to my new house. Next to our home is a highway that is quite busy by 6 AM. You will understand very soon why this detail is essential. I was pretty conscious about the sounds and a little worried to get distracted by them. But I managed to focus myself into a passive observation mode. I did not use any technique. I waited for the right moment to make a move, the move with my dream body. While the sounds were clear in my ears, they started breaking up. If you are old enough, you know how a radio receiver works. When we turn the knob between the radio stations, one disappears, then we are in between, then the second station starts to appear. I shifted about 10 times between waking sounds and dreaming sounds. These shifts lasted for about 2 hours. The other sensations went off almost in the same fashion of breaking up and replaced with new ones. On the other hand, the sounds were breaking up without any other thing to replace them. It was the dead silence. In the beginning, the sounds start to disappear like a radio station. It is pretty startling, so you've got to hold your horses. It is easy to get excited at this moment. Do not hold your breath or tense up any muscle. You are very close to the shift. The adventures. I counted over 10 different OBE, lucid dreams following one another. You may ask, is it easy to count so many? The answer is a no. When consciousness fluctuates quickly between waking radio and lucid dreams radio, things are pretty slippery. My record is 22 conscious explorations in one night and one session without a waking time separation in between. This record was facilitated by galantamine plus choline partaking as well. Adventure 1, the moon visit. While I was fluctuating between body awareness and dream presence, I visualized the moon and intended to be there. It was part of my plan of action for a long time. The round shape started approaching me. When it became the size of an apple, in appearance, I freaked out. I like to say I am fearless, most of the time. Somehow, being in space and approaching the moon has just startled me this time. I was saddened in the morning when recollecting what happened. I failed this task 4 times previously. This time around, I approached the moon the closest. Upon this feeling of the unknown apprehension rising in me, I fluctuated back to the body. There is a conspiracy theory concerning the moon. The conspiracy wants an alien base on the moon. I am cautious about the impact of thoughts I allow myself. If you are a seasoned lucid dreamer or an astral projector, you know how quickly the dream machine materializes it. The other failures to reach the moon could have been impacted by this kind of thought. Adventure 2, The Void. While I kept fluctuating between asleep, awakened, and falsely awakened states, the sounds broke off again. Some inner hissing sound and the body rush/tension, followed by the calm, as usual. I told myself, time to get up, Yuri. The movements were sluggish, and the gravity would not let me get up. Then I remembered the mystic stories of the void and tried to relate to it at that moment, not that I am a believer. Well, nothing so interesting to report except the complete blackness. Usually, the absence of light is fine with me. I look for the lighted areas, but I had nowhere to go in this case. I was suspended in midair, with no way to move around due to the absence of any reference point. My body seemed to be absent. That's an out-of-body experience, I joked to myself. I reached out with my invisible hand to my nose for the reality check. It is confirmed, it is a dream state. But I could not move anywhere since I was nowhere. I started fluctuating again and left the place. Adventure 3, Who are you? Who do you serve? I fluctuated to a new place. A woman attracted my attention. I approached her with a, "Who are you, and who do you serve?" She kept walking without answering my questions. She presented herself by the name Neonela. She has just kept walking, ignoring my request, even though I have repeated my request. Is it all me? Is it a part of me? Is it a bigger game in play that I ignore? These questions are not easy to answer. The research is still on. Conclusion. I am firmly attached to the idea of the shift. I call this phenomenon shifting, and my students like to call themselves shifters. While listening to the accounts of lucid dreamers, astral projectors and out-of-body explorers, similarities appear. Such similarities include but are not limited to 1. Sharp rising high-pitched sound in the head/ears area. 2. An energy rising sensation within the body. 3. Flashes of light. 4. Other loud noises. And many more. We may tune into a lucid dreams radio or astral projection radio. This idea is quite natural to somebody who keeps experiencing these phenomena regularly. I like the idea to be capable of living in more than one world. A lucid dreamer lives by day and by night. Our days and our night create equally important psychic memories. Radio theory of lucid dreaming is exciting to the ears and is supported by the associated phenomena. Guys, how do you like this kind of presentation? Would you like to see more of this with richer content and information about lucid dreaming and astral projection, or how I like to call it, the shift? Consider subscribing to this channel to support the presence of this knowledge. And do not worry, we only issue a couple of videos a day at maximum, so you will have time to relax with other channels while waiting for our channel to kick in. Check out the courses if you would like to get some coaching and get faster results with lucid dreaming or astral projection. Yuri is a longtime practitioner and independent researcher. He will make sure you excel in lucid dreaming as much as you want it yourself.